Hey, Team Beautifully Polished. This is Debbie coming live to you. I'm still without a computer, so I'm going live from my phone, which I know I've told you guys to do. So let's talk today for training about stress. I'm pretty sure everyone on this team probably has had some stress in your life at some point. I guess if you haven't, let me know your secret, because I would love to know your secret if you are stress-free all the time. So, all right. First off, before this training even starts, you need to know I am not a psychiatrist. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a therapist. I don't have all the answers about stress. Sometimes I'm not even really good at handling my things that have worked for me and just talking through the ideas of stress, because obviously we all have them. So let's talk about cause the stress. It could be anything from a fight with a friend, a fight with a family member, kids crying, a bad haircut, public speech, your first nail bar, your car's giving you problems, balancing work with your home life, a death, you're moving, buying a new car. All of these different things can be really stressful on us, right? But nonetheless, all of them can really take a toll on stress can have really serious side effects on you, or it can just paralyze you and prevent you from being able to work and do what you want to do. So probably along with your Color Street business, most of you might be a mom, a wife, a daughter, a girlfriend. You know, you might work another job part-time. You might work another job full-time. You might be traveling. Bottom line is, I am sure that Color Street is not the only thing in any one of your lives, right? I'm sure many of you have something else going on, and sometimes juggling two things can cause some extra stress. Not being able to handle your stress and manage your stress can lead to anxiety, lack of sleep, lack of concentration, mood swings, depression, compulsive behavior, all sorts of things. So the big question is for everybody, right? And again, I don't have the perfect answer, because trust me, there's times in my life that I'm stressed too. But the question is, how do you handle stress? So first, I'm going to give 4 physical ways. I believe it's kind of physical lifestyle changes that if you don't do these, I just want to recommend to maybe changing or adding them in your life. I know I've talked about it before. Many of you guys know that I love to exercise. Exercise is a huge stress relief for me, which is why I do it all the time. When I go do yoga, it's the single only place if my mind wanders and I think about Color Street, I'm in big trouble, because I don't have an instructor in front of me. She verbally teaches us, and then you do it by yourself. And if my mind wanders, that whole segment of that class is gone. Now, I will say, when I used to run more often, my mind could catch up with me while I was running. I had to really try to put my mind back onto what I was actually doing, because otherwise I could run through scenarios in my head, and sometimes it could cause me to have more stress. But bottom line is, exercise, you guys, it's not just me telling you this because I like it. It has been proven to increase your mood. It's been proven to put you in a more relaxed state instead of that fight or flight state that we can be in when we're stressed. It does not have to be, I'm not telling you to go train for a marathon, all right? I'm telling you, get out and walk your dog if you have a dog. Go biking, go swimming, do something that makes you happy, that allows you to take your mind off that stress and come back to a relaxed state. Okay, you're not going to like this one. But again, it's proven facts. There's some things we probably should watch what we eat and drink when it comes to stress. Caffeine and nicotine, both of those can be stimulants. So if you are stressed, it's going to raise that, and it's going to make it worse for you. Alcohol can be a depressant. So I know we all say after a long day, or many of us, oh, I'd love to go have a glass of wine. Just be careful, because if it's been a really bad day, sometimes that doesn't actually help the stress. All right. It can make it worse. Maybe it helps it at that second. And, of course, the amounts are going to make a huge difference. A little bit of wine, great. Borrow the neighbor's dog. Yeah, good idea, Heidi. It totally different. So just managing that. Sugar can also affect it. We stress, so we stress eat, right? And we stress eat sugar oftentimes. Well, And if you're already in a stressed out state of mind, that crash can make you come down really, really hard. You know, what's kind of funny? Did you guys ever realize as I'm talking about food that if you take the word stressed and spell it backwards, it actually spells desserts, which is kind of funny because I know when I'm stressed, what do I crave? I crave junk food. I want desserts. I want sugar because I want something to just satisfy that whatever's going on in me. And then it doesn't end up making me feel good in the end, just maybe that instant gratification. Guys, and I know it's hard, and I know if you're thinking about Color Street or you're worried or you're new to Color Street, oh my gosh, I swear the first year I had Color Street dreams. I was sleeping less because I couldn't get off my mind. I was so excited, 24 hours a day. So I get it if you're having those Color Street dreams. Those do eventually subside a little bit unless you're in a stressed out point. Then sometimes, that can go up and down. But getting that good sleep, so you figure out before you sleep what happened, if you have a bunch of stuff on your mind, what about if you write it down to get it off your mind before you go to sleep? My husband always tells me, turn your brain off, because I get in bed and I just think, and I start saying all this stuff. Well, then I'm not going to have a good night's sleep. You need your sleep to help balance that stress. My last physical lifestyle change would be meditation. This could be yoga, which I would include in exercise, but it might be prayer. Could even be some form of music. It's just that quiet time you can spend with yourself to allow yourself to think through and process what's going on and just to be. So now let's talk about some things that aren't so physical and a little bit more directly, like with our business. Okay, so you are completely stressed out. You don't know what to do. You really want this promotion to team leader and you can't figure out how to get it. And you have all these things to do. And you have to label catalogs. You have to call hostesses. You have to call your customers. You have to prepare for your nail bar. You have to post on social media. You have to get graphics for your online party. You got to listen to training. I mean, there's a bajillion things. At any given time, I could work my business 24 hours a day if I let myself. I've got to get organized. I have to stay organized. Otherwise, you're working it so much, it causes more stress in your life. So there's always something you can be doing. But your family and your personal life are always there too. So you've got to work on finding that balance. So write things down. I know we've talked about it. Make lists, you guys. I want you to write things down and then get organized with that writing. So you have your list of things to do today. You have your list of things to do maybe for the week. And maybe you're going to be editing it as you go. You might have some things that you have on your calendar for the month of what you need to do. However you need to organize it. Or, however you need to write it down, then organize it. Once you have it, okay, put those hard things first. Get them done with first. If you're a crosser outer and you didn't put something on, put it on, cross it off if it makes you feel better. But something, you got to give yourself dates. You got to give yourself deadlines. Do not let that, your list of things to do, keep the items you don't want to do, get put off and keep getting added to your next day's list. You will never get it done, which in turn will what? Cause you stress, right? So when you have that thing you don't want to do, I know I've told you guys before that I hate mailing things. I hate it, but it is a huge part of our business. So with this whole boom thing, it's a challenge for me. It's a huge challenge because I'm having to be right on top of it. And so every time I usually do it, I booms for a couple days, then I put 5 packages, 6 packages together, and I send them out. And I'm telling you, it makes me feel so good each time I do it because it's something that I don't know why. It's something I will always put off. I started doing it 7 o'clock this morning. I have a scale in my house. I have done everything I can to make that job that I don't like doing easier for me. I bought a scale. I go through PayPal. I ship labels through there. I don't have to go to the post office because I know if I do, it won't get done. So if there is something like that you don't like to do, that causes you stress, figure out a way to make it the easiest way you can for yourself in order to get it done, okay? Make some time for things that bring you pleasure. Your family, maybe it's game night, maybe it's going out to dinner, maybe it's outings, maybe it's just simply listening to music, maybe it's cooking while listening to music. You guys, put it in your schedule. So again, maybe this means you need to focus on your calendar blocking. remember, with your colors with calendar blocking, anytime you don't want to work your Color Street business that you know it's important to you, that's red. So if you know on Sunday nights you want to go out with your husband, you mark it in red. If you know Wednesday nights are soccer nights for your kids, if you know Thursday afternoon is lunch with friends, that's okay, you guys. You have to have these things in your not touching my Color Street business during this time. Because if you start letting your Color Street ride over into that family time, or that personal time, again, you can build up resentment. You get stressed out because you're not messaging those people back. But if you have that in red, there should be no guilt there. That is the time that you have set for yourself, and you have to take that for yourself, you guys. It's really important for your own well-being to really separate your work from your business. We work from home. We could work all day. We can't let ourselves do that, and we don't want that because it's awesome. So make sure you are doing things for pleasure, and in those times you are not focusing on your Color Street business, okay? Stop multitasking. I know I'm preaching to myself right now as I say this because I am a multitasker. I can't help it. However, I do find if I'm multitasking too many different things, I don't get any of them complete. And what does that do? It causes some stress for me. So I'm so much better off getting one, then the next, getting them taken care of, touching it once. I try to live by that rule. I'm not perfect at it, but if you know you're going to do laundry, go in there, you bring it in, you put it in the washing machine, you put your soap in there and you start it instead of putting it in the washing machine and walking away and going and cooking and then coming back. Touch it once, all right? As far as your business, try to touch it once. As far as your personal life, try to touch it once. It really helps you, and it helps wean down that multitasking too. Unless you can touch it once, get it done, touch it once, get it done. Okay, so let's say you're stressed out and you can't figure out why. It's real important to find out that source. What is causing those feelings of anxiety for you? You may not even know. So you've got to figure it out. You know, you keep putting off making customer calls. Well, maybe it comes down to you are scared to death to do an in-home party, and that's okay. But then let's figure out what you can do to help you get over that. Maybe it's going to be reaching out to your upline and watching them go do an in-home party. Maybe it's going to be at the next in-home party, you're going to maybe do one card at their press may not be relieved from just one chance that you get. So it may take a few times depending what your stress source is. Are you struggling to figure out how you can fit Color Street in with your other job? All right. Well, then you've got to sit down and look at your schedule. You've got to sit down with your family, see what works for you, what hours work for you, when you can dedicate your time. So instead of letting it cause you stress, again, go back to that calendar blocking and be realistic. You've always got to be honest with yourself. If you know that your kids get home from school at 4 o'clock, don't put 4 o'clock as your work time because you know you're going to want to say hi to them. I did that. I had to change it. My kids were not happy, even though they were in high school. They would come home and I would be on all my Let's Get Started calls. So I couldn't even say hi to them for a half hour. So I learned to shift things around a little bit. And I'm telling you, it caused a lot less stress in my house. I was here when they came in. I might have been working, but it's work that I could stop so I could go and greet them. So again, you might be able to keep up. You might be able to have that block of time when your kids get home, but make sure whatever it is, you can go be with them. So figuring out the source of your stress and then figuring out the solutions to solve it are really, really important. Make sure you're not a perfectionist. If you are a perfectionist, everything you do, you probably are never going to be satisfied because there is no way in our business you can be perfect at everything. It evolves, it changes. You are dealing with new people. You're dealing with things that are out of your control, like out of stock sometimes, or a glitch of not being able to place an order. Some things are out of your hands. So don't worry about being a perfectionist. Do the best you can and figure out how you can do the best you can do with the situation. But none of us are perfect. Don't tell my husband, because I like to tell him I am. But, you're always going to be letting yourself down if you have to be perfect. And not only that, but you'll procrastinate and not do things because you'll think it'll never get done right. Do it and then figure it out. In that way, as you're doing things too, you can be building yourself up and making yourself feel good as you're getting the process done. Be clear on what you need and want to do with your business, with your home life, with your other job. So again, that kind of goes back to writing your goals. Goal setting in our job is really, really important. Know what you want to do, evaluate what you're doing, write the steps of how you're going to hit those goals. So it's very concrete. You can go back and look at it. And that way, if you see, okay, I want to be team leader by the end of the month. All right, well, let's say you had one person on your team leading into this. You need at least 4 more team members, right? 4 more team members. Wait, 3, you need 5 total. You had 1. Yeah, sorry. Okay, I had to think through my math in my head. Think if you are midway through the month and you don't have another person, well, you have 2 weeks left. It's probably going to be an unrealistic goal, and that's okay. But rather than being stressed out at the end of the month, say, okay, what can I do to reevaluate this? What didn't I do? Well, I only talked to 2 people about the business. Well, you need to talk to more. Think new goals, new steps of what you can do. All right. So kind of taking preventative measures of evaluating your goals, seeing where you are with them. So that way, if all of a sudden you come upon them and you didn't hit them, it's not going to stress you out, but you reevaluate how you're going to change things and what you're going to do. Okay. I know this last one can be a little bit hard, but staying away from conflict. Again, we all are going to have conflict in our life, whether it's in our family, whether it's a customer, whether it's a stylist, whether a friend, we can have conflict, right? So the biggest thing I can tell you is don't add to the drama. Even things like, let's say you see somebody posting on Amazon in the marketplace and you know you're not supposed to. We're not supposed to. But rather than letting yourself get so upset about it in when you have no control over it, instead of getting so upset about it, you know what? You can turn them into corporate and then walk away from it. It's the most you can do, right? Don't let what someone else is doing drag you down. So as far as a customer, let's say a customer is upset about something, great. Respond to them, give them the answer they need, but don't let their stress and anger take over and eat you up and fester up with you, okay? I know sometimes we can't avoid conflict. If it's another stylist on the team and there's some conflict between the two of you, try to talk about it if you can, but if there's no resolution there, you do the best you can to resolve it and walk away. Don't allow, if you know you haven't done anything, don't allow other people's conflicts and other people's stress to come into your life, all right? Treat yourself to allowing yourself grace to walk away from that, all right? Because that's going to save you a huge headache. I guess my last one really is talking to somebody. And all this, if we have stress, you guys, in any part of your life, most of us are women. Everyone watching, I think, has been a woman popping on. We like to talk. And maybe you don't even want to open up. Maybe you just want someone there. Maybe you just want to say you're stressed out and you just want to be with somebody, but you don't even want to tell them what. If you're at that point where Color Street is getting overwhelming, reach out to somebody. Because I guarantee there's going to be somebody, an upline or a fellow stylist, that could come up with ideas to help you relieve that stress because maybe they felt it before, or somebody who can relate to it because they have felt it before, and they can, even just sometimes knowing somebody else has gone through it helps your stress level drop, right? So most of the things so don't be shy. If you are trying to figure out, oh my gosh, I cannot figure out how to balance Color Street with my 3 young kids. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I don't know how to do it. I'm not your best person to talk to anymore. I would have been years ago, but my kids are older. There are so many other people on our team who have little kids at home. Talk to different people and find out from them, what are they doing to balance their life with Color Street and their kids being home as a stay-at-home mom. I guarantee there's going to be someone else out there. Start to implement to see what works for you. So talking to somebody can sure help when you are at that point. Even just reaching out to your upline and sharing with them, they may not know what you're going through, but they also may be able to offer you solutions of what you could try. Okay? So I think the biggest thing to remember is this. We sell nails, right? So there is probably no huge nail emergency. But I am not saying nails and running your own business, all right? I know it does. I've been on the receiving end of stress since I started Color Street also, on and off. I know how it feels. So the biggest thing is, how are you going to handle that stress? I gave you all sorts, probably like 12 different suggestions of what you could do for your stress. So are you going to let that stress run you, or are you going to give that stress wings and let it fly and fly away from you? So figure out what you are going to do. So my challenge to you this week, when you get that stress, whatever it is, maybe you're trying to drive to work and the traffic's bad, what are you going to do to relieve that stress? I gave you all different solutions of what the different things you could do. Think about that at that. Maybe you'll think of me at that exact stressful moment and think, what would Debbie do? Sometimes it's the right thing and other times it's not. But think about, what should you do at that time? Is it the time you do a quick meditation because you're going crazy because traffic's bad? You probably can't write something down. Is it turning on music? Is it calling somebody that you could talk to? Find out when you have any type of stress this week, figure out what's causing it, and try to hit it right on the head instead of letting it fester. And that is my training for you guys for today. So good luck with it. And I really hope that just sometimes hearing some of this stuff again reminds us that we're not alone being stressed. And it's something we're going to have our whole entire lives at some point or another. So figuring out ways to help us through it, and just knowing that you have other Color Street sisters and other people out there that support you and want. Have a great day, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. See you later.